안녕하세요, 여러분. 반갑습니다. 안녕하십니까? So, welcome to our live class today. Let me make sure that everybody is able to hear me. All right, I can see myself here. So, let's get started. Today, we are going over 100 must-know Korean words. So, I don't have my screen quite right here. Okay. There's always like 3-4 things to quickly check before I actually start the class, and I can't do that until I actually go live on YouTube. So that's why I say the same things every time there's a YouTube live class that you watch. All right, I am Hyunwoo. You're watching Talk to Me in Korean, and this is a live class. And we are going to look at, we're going to look at these words together. 네. So let me quickly run you through the words here. So from 1 to 100, these words are from our book, My First 500 Korean Words. Not exactly the first 100 words that you see in this book, because I have picked some words from this book, but mainly in the first 10 or 11 chapters of this book. So this book is based on stories, and we have a long history of trying to give you context for everything that you learn. Words, vocabulary, words and vocabulary are the same thing. Words, grammar, idioms, expressions, culture. We always want to show some context because that's how you will remember. For example, if you know like 고양이, which is cat, you don't want to just memorize the word cat and then be done with it. You want to say something like, I like cats, or I don't like cats, or, something that you can picture yourself saying in the future, in the near future. So that's what we do. And today, this book is also a good example of that because we have incorporated, I can't really show you, maybe I can. So, oops, it blurs out automatically. But basically, what it does is it gives you a list of words at first, and then you can learn the words through a story. At first, you will see a whole story written in English, just with the Korean words replaced to Korean, and then eventually, after you study with one chapter, you will be able to read the whole thing in Korean, simple Korean story, each chapter. So that's that. And we have the same pattern repeating in many of our books and courses. And we finally, about 2 years ago, we finally made our whole app, Talk to Me in Korean Stories. I'll show you a little more about that later. But yeah. Okay, so that's that. And let's get started. I have some news to share with you before I go on with the class. That is, we are having a sale for our course subscription. So you can go to talktomeinkorean.com and you will see this screen, and you can see that this banner takes you to our course platform. And we have, even if you do already have a subscription, we have something fun going on our course website. 행운, 달력. 행운 is good luck or good fortune. 달력 is calendar, so lucky calendar. So you can go to our site every single day. And it started on December 8th. So you didn't miss the whole half month. You only missed a week. So you can go to the course site and open today's gift. And you will see that in order to celebrate 16 years of Talk to Me in Korean, which we recently celebrated on the team as well. We had a large company dinner and everything, the whole town hall meeting. And then we have this discount that you can use to get started. And then today's surprise is 한글 얼굴. This is something that we did 2 한글날's ago, 2 Hangul days ago. This year we did 한글 이름. So we have a website app, mobile app, or not like a web app that you can use to make your own Hangul name, Korean name. And this is something that you can do today. And tomorrow there will be something else. So be sure to please check out our site if you haven't been there in a while. And then the third and last bit of news before I start the live class is that we have added a really cool new feature. If you like, I saw the comment. Thank you for loving the Talk to Me Korean Stories app. It's truly amazing in my opinion as well. And if you go to the app, open it up, and if you have been studying diligently, you will see really pretty beautiful like badges being activated. 네, 보셨어요? Did you see it? The sound is low. Okay, I can speak a little louder. How about now? 괜찮아요? How about now? Is it better? All right. I hope it's okay. 괜찮나요? Let me know. I'll move on after I get a confirmation from you guys about the voice. I can adjust it a little more if you want. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So yeah, the badges are there for motivating you to continue going. So honestly speaking, I don't have any of these stories reading club badges. I'm not an official member because I only open the app to do our live classes. I don't study with it. So I go into the app and all my badges are turned off. And I'm sad every time I open it. So I hope you feel the opposite emotion of sad. So open it up and you can see, and this is what you can do with the app. So for example, here you can read a story like that, and this is the length of a really, really short story. You can read something about 삼계탕, and then you can click on any of the words to see the definition, add it to your vocabulary list, and then take a quiz. When do you eat 삼계탕? And as you know, we have now translations and grammar breakdown later, like in the following tabs. So it's going to be great, and this is something that I wanted to share with you. I'll remind you once again later in the live class. So 3 things. So we have human voices in the audio clips as well. Yeah, 3 things. Number 1, we have a course subscription sale for people who are starting with our courses. And we have a lucky calendar campaign going on. So you can visit our site every single day and open the second surprise to see some fun images, videos here and there. And then you can go to our Stories app to see our brand new reading club badges being activated. 네. Okay, some questions I see in the comments. All right. Is the app free? You can have a free trial for 1 week and see if it's good for you. And if you like it, you can decide to subscribe to it. Our apps, our subscriptions are, if you compare the experience of using Talk to Me in Korean Stories to something like enrolling in a class, it's really not that expensive. So make that investment. You'll be happy about it. And by the end of the year or, like the period, you can actually feel the improvement, whether it's 1 month, 3 months, or 1 year. Okay, cool. You don't have to be a member on the website already to be able to open the Lucky Calendar gifts. So you can just go there now. After the live class is over, all the links will be down below in the description. So the 3 things that I mentioned will be there. All right, if you are ready, I am ready. Let's start today's live class. So whenever you're like, I'm losing my 집중, like concentration, focus, you can go to the description section of today's live class and click one of the links or all of the links. 한번 집중이 안 되면 description, 설명란에 가서 클릭해 보세요. Let me also provide you with that. 집중 is not one of the 100 words that we are introducing today. 집중 is focus, concentration. The focus, when you are focusing on an object or subject in a photo, when you're taking a photo, that's not 집중, it's focus or 초점, but 집중 is concentrating on something like studying or working. So 집중. 집중이, let me give you the whole sentence. 집중이 안 되면 설명란을 열어서 링크를 클릭해 보세요. 집중이 안 되면 집중, if you can't focus, 안 되다 is you can't do it or it's not done. 설명 is explanation. 란 is usually a box or section on a piece of paper or on a website. 설명란 means the description box in the case of YouTube. Open it and 링크를, the link 클릭해 보세요. Try clicking on the links. All right? So, perfect. Let's get started with today's class. We have these words from my first 500 Korean words book. We have 100 words here. And yep, I have this one list here, so just so I know there are 100 and this is the same list. So we're gonna go over everything. And what I want you to do is, if you know a certain word already, just give me the translation. Maybe type 너무 equals so-and-so, 바쁘다 equals so-and-so. Be a teacher and explain in the comments. Be very, very active. So I know if you prefer taking notes with your hand in a notebook, do that. Or if you can type in the chat, please type a lot. Yeah, and give me the definition. And then if there's a new word that you don't know yet, or you kind of stumbled upon it before and you kind of know it, but you want to know more about it, please say something like explain this word or more about this word, something like that. And I will see that and offer more information. We have a lot of words to go through. I will try to give you also at least one or two sample situations where you can use the word, okay? Good job, everybody. Whenever I do these live classes, anything I ask you to do, you do it. So that's great. Very, very good class. 그럼 시작해 보겠습니다. First of all, 너무. Yes, everybody wrote 너무. 너무 is very. It's so something like so hot, so big, or too or excessively. You know, that is the original meaning of 너무. It was originally, it's too big, too fast, something like that, 너무. But then now in modern day Korean, it is standard in the meaning of so, very. And in colloquial speech, it's also abbreviated to 넘. So 너무 좋아요, 넘 좋아요. You don't want to write this in formal settings, but you will see it, okay? There are many things in the Korean language that I will tell you about that you should just understand and not use. And this is, I think, one of those. Okay, next. 나무 is a tree. Yes. Perfect. Everybody's doing a good job. And 바쁘다 is, so yeah. Let's see if we can keep the pace in sync. Like, you don't want to go to 영화 all of a sudden, right? Like one thing at a time. All right. 바쁘다, to be busy. 바쁜 is a busy as an adjective, right? 바쁜. 바쁘다. 그래요. 좋아요. 바쁘다 can be also, just like in English, it can be a busy store. 바쁜. 가게가 바쁜 것 같아요. Like some people can be busy, or you can just look at the inside of a restaurant. 너무 바쁜데, and then you can leave. Not like crowded. It's not as close to crowded as the English word busy, like a busy street, but usually people. All right, 바빠요. It's a good pronunciation practice, right? 바빠요, 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 바빠요. Right? These are not actual words. This is, and 바빠요, because depending on the language you speak as your mother tongue, 바 and 빠, distinguishing these two sounds can be tricky, I know. So what you can do is, this is the best practice that you can do with double consonants. If you have trouble distinguishing them from regular ones, just list similar combinations next to each other. 바빠, 바바, 빠빠, 빠파. And then once you get really good at it, you got it. All right. 우리 is we or our. We or our. 우리. Okay. One important distinction, okay, is in casual language. Casual language, 우리 means we, including the listener, and we excluding the listener. Okay? What do I mean by this? Let me show you. In polite language, when you're ending your sentences with 좋아요, 바빠요, if you say 우리, it's we, including the listener. And if you want to say we, like not you, but us, it's 저희, we, excluding the listener. So it's a typical mistake that a lot of native speakers make, because 저희 sounds more polite. They think they need to say 저희 even when they're including the listener, the professor, the grandmother, or the section chief. Like they want to include the listener, like shall we, and then they say 저희. That's actually wrong, because it means, hey, I'm not gonna do anything with you. Us, without you, we are going to have dinner together, something like that. It ends up sounding like that, or it's supposed to sound like that, but it's kind of in a gray area, 저희. So you know that now because of this. So just use 우리, and it's fine. Many people think because they are, they remember using 우리 as a child, when they're speaking 반말 할 때 우리를 썼잖아요. 그래서 they learn 저희 later as a politer form, but then they think, oh, can I dare say 우리 in front of my professor, to whom I should show, a lot of respect? You absolutely can. It's fine. All right? 우리, 오리, 요리. 우리, 오리, 요리. 좋아요. 우리는, we, duck, cooking. So maybe you can say 우리, 오리, 요리 is our duck dish. 우리, 오리, 요리. 우리, 오리, 요리를, lots of real as well. 유리 접시에 올리자. Okay, how about that? I just made that up for you. 우리 오리 요리 is a duck dish made with duck. 유리 접시. 유리 is glass. 접시 is a dish, not the cooked dish, but the utensil, the dish. Or plate. 올리자. Let's put it on. So let's put the duck dish on the glass plate is the meaning. 우리 오리 요리를 유리 접시에 올리자. 우리 오리 요리를, it's hard for me. 우리 오리 요리를 유리 접시에 올리자. How about this? 우리 오리 요리를 I give up. Let me try one more time. Some more coffee. 우리 오리 요리를 유리 접시에 올리자. 우리 오리 요리를 유리 접시에 올리자. Okay. Yeah, so. 그리고 넘어갈게요. Next. 보통. What is 보통? 보통 is normal, usual, or usually. The coffee helped, of course. Usually, 보통. Yeah, regular. anything that's not super big, super small, super, extreme is 보통. And then 주말 is weekend. 주 is the week. 말 is end. So you see other so-and-so 말s in the Korean language. 월말, month end, 연말, year end, 학기말, the end of a semester, right? Yeah. 주말, 월말, 연말, 학기말. This is actually shortened to 기말. So the 기말고사 is the final exams of the semester. Okay, 기말. Oh, 세기말. End of a century. 세기말. Not 양말. Yeah. All right. 북엔드? No. 북엔드는 그냥 북엔드예요. 북엔드. 북엔드. 네. 그래서 좋아요. And this live class is recorded, so you can come back and watch the recording anytime you want to review any part. All right, let's move on to the next one. 만나다. What's 만나다? 만나다 is to meet and to see. And because 만나다 is the word that, the go-to word that people use for seeing someone, in Korean, many Korean people learning English will just use meet all the time whenever they want to say, like, I saw my friend, I am, something like that. So meeting, so 만나다. So 만남 is meet up. Like, it sounds formal. So you will see 만남의 광장 as a place name. It's like a plaza in a highway service station. So like a plaza in front of this building can be a 만남의 광장. So you meet up after, using pit stops and stuff like that. So 만남 is just a noun. And then 만나는 사람 is someone, normally someone you are seeing, like dating, 만나는 사람. So you can say 만나는 사람 있어요, 없어요. I am seeing someone, I'm not seeing anyone. 만나다. Yeah, 만나다, rencontrer. 그 다음에 영화, film, movie, right? 영화. So it's the same as moving pictures. 영 is like moving, and then 화 is a picture, drawing. 영화, moving pictures. 영화. And then, or like not moving, maybe? Yeah, moving and like projecting pictures. Okay, so 매일 is every day. 매일. 매 is 매주, every week. Let me quickly actually check on the 한자 of 영화. Yeah, okay. So let me correct myself. This 영 is not actually moving, it's projecting. Yeah, I was thinking of 동영상. 동 is like moving. So projected images is 영화. Okay. 매주, 매월, or 매달, every month. 매해, 매년, every year. Okay. Can you say when you are seeing, can you say 만나다 when you're seeing a doctor? No, you have to say 병원에 가요. 병원에 가요. Seeing a doctor. Oh, that's a cultural difference. By the way, speaking of culture, I have another small, tiny announcement to make. If you're linked on LinkedIn, please find me on LinkedIn. You can also yeah, find me on Insta and then see a link to my LinkedIn. I started, I'm not saying that you should follow me or anything like that. I started a newsletter on LinkedIn. You can just follow that. You don't have to follow me there. It's called Korean Cultural Fluency. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different from the other kinds of Korean language content that we make or I do. It's a personal newsletter that I started 2 days ago, I think, or yesterday. So I'm going to be writing probably every week, 매주, 매주, or more than once a week, about these things, like how in English you say see a doctor, but in Korean you just casually throw around the word 병원, 병원, hospital, hospital, hospital all the time. So 병원, you have a cold, you go to the hospital. You have an itch somewhere, you go to the hospital, right? And it's very casual, the word. And the first newsletter that I wrote 2 days ago when I started it, how many subscribers do I have? Let me quickly check. So on LinkedIn, if you can find me, you will see, I have 867 subscribers already on LinkedIn. So thank you if you already subscribed over there. So this is the newsletter image. So look for this. And the first post that I wrote was about 결혼식, weddings in Korea. Okay. So yeah, 병원에 가다. Thank you for helping me think of that. So you just go to the hospital. You need to look for my name. Yeah, on LinkedIn. Or talk to me in Korean. It's fine. You will find me eventually. And next, 일찍 is early. Do you go to the hospital if you have a runny nose? Yes, you go to the hospital. Anytime you go see a doctor in Korea or in the Korean language, you just say 병원, 병원에 가요. So there's no clear distinction between a small doctor's office or the hospital. So it's always just 병원. Okay? And then 일어나다. 일찍 is probably pretty easy, I guess. And then 일어나다 is to wake up or to get up. Yeah, or to stand up. All one expression. Yeah, Charity Whitney, that's correct. 일찍 일어나다. 저는 오늘도 일찍 일어났어요. I can say it like that. 저는 오늘도 일찍 일어났어요. As usual, I woke up early today, or I got up early today. So when you say or just see 일어났어요, or even 일찍 일어났어요, just by looking at this sentence, in Korean, you don't know whether it's you woke up early, but then you stayed in bed, or you actually got up early and started doing things, or you were attending something like a meeting or event, and then you got up early and left early. You don't know. There's no way of telling which of those three situations you are describing if you just look at this one, because 일어나다 is so inclusive of wake up, get up, and stand up, right? Yeah. 일어서다, if you want to specifically say to stand up, you can say 일어서다, but 일어나다 also works. And Harry's Adam, yes, we are aware of that situation, so we will try to fix that. Like the video, like it depends on the device you're using. So if you're using a device with lower resolutions, maybe not too wide, the video player can actually block the lesson notes on the courses app. So one way to do that is to adjust screen sizes. So there are ways to fix it, but we will try to fix that on our end as well. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay, next, 물 is, this is easier, I think. What is 물? Water. So again, today's live class is 100 must-know Korean words, right? You must know these Korean words to be able to have conversations. I mean, you will learn these eventually, pretty early on. So, 물. And every list of must-know words will be different, but these are ours from this book. 물 is water. Let's see. Yeah, 콧물, 눈물. 콧물 is not because nose water, and 눈물 is tears, eye water. What else is there? Yeah, sweat is just 땀. And the reason, you might wonder, the reason that 콧물 has the 시옷, it's because the 사이 시옷, we do have a lesson on it, and I did explain it a little briefly before, but it marks the pronunciation change. So 코 plus 물, instead of saying 코물, for various reasons, people started pronouncing it like 콧물 over time, verbally, and the 시옷 is added after the fact to resemble the verbal pronunciation in writing. So the 사이 시옷, the 시옷 is what it's there for. Okay, 콧물. And then 마시다 is to drink. 마시다. To fill a cup with water is 컵에 물을 담다. Or 컵에 물을 채우다. 컵에 물을 따르다. Verbs are so much fun, right? At first, you put 담다. You say 담다 for just putting things in any kind of container. It works, so you say 담다 for everything. 담아요, 담아요, 담아요. But then you hear another person, a native speaker or a more advanced speaker saying 채우다. And you're like, what is 채우다? And you look it up. It means to fill up something. And then you started using 채우다, but then again, you hear 따르다. So being exposed to these natural usages is crucial in expanding your vocabulary. And you can do that through lots of stories. You can see the logo above my head, right? Stories, or in the link as well. Please click on the links to check out our Stories app. And then let's move on to 세수. What is 세수? Do you know? My coffee. Yeah, washing your face. Excuse me. It comes from Chinese characters, and if you look at the Chinese characters, it actually means 세 is washing and 수 is hand. Washing your hand, but it doesn't mean washing your hands. It means wash your face. And if you use the same Chinese characters in Chinese, it means you're using the bathroom, right? So 세수. So 세수해요. 세수하다. To wash your face. 손을 씻다 is to wash your hands. Yeah, languages are not always completely logical, especially after a long history of changes. And 옷 is clothes. Any kind of clothing. And so, let me ask you, culturally speaking, in your culture, are socks, 양말, we talked about 양말 earlier, are socks a kind of clothing? Can you call socks clothes or not? Socks, clothing? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Because in Korean, 양말 is absolutely not a part of 옷. It's not 옷. It's 양말 is never 옷. Because 옷 is this, something that you go into. Excuse me. This time I need water. So this is, again, the reason that I started the newsletter, Korean Cultural Fluency, is to talk about these things. So for example, when you have, do I have glasses? It's like when you're describing somebody in sunglasses, you are saying in sunglasses, but it doesn't work in Korean because you can't be inside a pair of sunglasses. You just have it on your face, right? Something like that. And you say you're in the socks, your feet are in your socks, but in Korean, the sock is just something that you're wearing. So socks are too small to be considered 옷. 옷 is something that you can actually feel like you're entering. So that's the category difference. And I remember using my English speaking side of the brain, I specifically referred to a t-shirt, a pair of pants, underwear, and socks as 옷 altogether to my younger son. And he's like, what do you mean? These are 옷 and 양말. And I was like, oh, yeah. In Korea, that's right. So I was referring to the whole thing as 옷. And then he corrected me. Gloves are not 옷. Yeah. 모자, hats, scarves, gloves, socks, even belts, they are not 옷. 옷 is just t-shirt, pants, jackets, bigger things. Okay? All right. They're not 옷. Are they accessories? Yeah, but 양말 is just 양말, a separate category. Okay. Let's go to, 입다. 입다 is to put on. To me, it's so interesting to see so many yeses in the comments saying, oh, 양말 is 옷. By the way, 옷, I think many people already know, this does look like a person getting ready to get dressed. Like Robert Downey Jr., waiting for the Iron Man suit to come and kind of get on the body parts. Okay, and 입다 is to put on a piece of clothing. 옷. And 입고 있다 is to be wearing something. You joined the live at a confusing time. It's a person without socks. Yeah. Okay, 양말. Because we were talking about 양말. Here's a fun word. 미끄럼 방지 양말. Do you know what this is? When you go to these kids cafes in Korea or trampoline parks, you're required to wear these non-slippery socks. So 미끄럽다 is to be slippery. 미끄럼 is slipperiness. Is that how you write it? Slipperiness. And 방지 is prevention. Yeah, grippy socks. Okay, grippy socks. So 미끄럼 방지 양말. It's quite a mouthful, right? 미끄럼 방지 양말. Try saying it a few times. 미끄럼 방지 양말. And yeah, so far they haven't shortened it to 미방양 or something like that, which I'm glad about. And yeah, 미끄럼 방지 양말. I had to find a pair for my son yesterday because he was going to this kids cafe for his friend's birthday party. Okay. 의자 is a chair. 의자. 책상 is the desk. Okay, just checking. These are easier to remember, I think. And 더럽다. 더럽다. Today's class should be retitled Sock Facts in Korean. Maybe we should have a class like that and describe all the kinds of colors in a sock and the texture and everything. Yeah, I can, just by looking at your suggestion, I can think of other expressions related to 양말, but I'm going to refrain myself from that. 더럽다 is to be dirty. Dirty, 더럽다. This 비읍, when you see it, in many cases, I would say personally, it's just 6 out of 10 times, this 비읍 is going to be an irregular 비읍, and it's going to drop, and then will be replaced by 우. So 더러워요, 더러운, 더러운. Okay. If you want more sock facts, let me know. I'll go back to socks. I didn't know I had so much to tell you about socks. Okay, 청소 is cleaning, to clean, or cleaning as a noun. 청소하다 is to clean. 청소. 청소기 is a vacuum cleaner. 로봇 청소기 is a what do you call it? Robot vacuum cleaner? The automatic one. 로봇 청소기. 로봇 청소기. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sock is moja in Hindi. Okay. Roomba. Roomba. Is that a brand name originally? I think I've heard it somewhere before. Roomba. Okay. One last sock related vocabulary or expression. I swear. 양말, 목, the neck of your sock. Do you say the same thing? The neck of your sock. 양말 목이 늘어나다. The neck of the sock is stretched or loose. Yeah. Cuff, okay. 양말 목이. Cuff. Is it 양말 목이 늘어나다? So, yeah, when you put it on or something like that, for whatever reason, 양말 목이 늘어나다. If the sock's neck part, cuff part is loose, you can say it like that. Okay. So, 로봇 청소기. Now, moving on to 깨끗하다. It's the opposite of 더럽다, right? 깨끗하다 is to be clean. So, to clean is 청소하다. To be clean as a descriptive verb is 깨끗하다. 깨끗해요. 깨끗해요. It's clean. 깨끗하게. Okay, 깨끗하게. Cleanly. 깨끗하게 먹었어요. I ate it cleanly. I cleaned the whole dish by eating every little, bite. 깨끗하게. And then if you read webtoons, Korean comic books, you will see lots of onomatopoeia, mimetic words written in big fonts like that. So as a mimetic word, somebody, like imagine a web comic. Somebody is cleaning and then they are looking back at the room that has been cleaned and it's perfectly clean. No dust anywhere. And then the room can be there and you can see a large, like, 깨끗 written somewhere across the page, 깨끗. And that's a perfectly fitting mimetic word. Okay, 공책 is a notebook. 공책. 책 is a book. 공 is empty in this case, so it's an empty book in which you can write. Notebook. 시작하다 is to start. start, 시작하다. And when you want to say, when you are starting a race or doing a game, competing for something, as the judge or somebody starting, like ready, set, action, or something like that, in Korean you say 시작. 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 Something like that. So you want to try saying that 시작. So this part contains ready, set, everything. The warming up part. 시작. Okay. Are we discussing the dance too now? All right, cool. Yeah, keep the conversation going. That's fine too. 배고프다 is to be hungry. 배고프다. 배고프다. Yeah. 아까. What is 아까? 아까 is earlier, today, only within the day. 아까. I mean, you could be saying this at 1:30 a.m. and then 아까 can be technically speaking the previous day, but still before you go to bed, or yeah, it's before the previous day, earlier. 아까. 빵 is bread. It comes from pan, or 빵. Other languages, 빵. It has been imported. So you can say, well, after looking at this one, it's a beverage, 음료수. It's pronounced as 음료수, okay? Because mium and then 리을 together, it's really, really hard to pronounce accurately when you're saying it quickly. 음료수, it's too much effort and it sounds forced. So you go 음료수. Okay, so you can say 아까 배고파서 빵이랑 음료수를 먹었어요. Or 샀어요. Earlier, I was hungry, so I had 빵 and a drink. 음료수를 먹었어요. And yes, as you know, you can say 먹다, which means to eat. In translation, in English, 먹다 about drinks too. You eat milk, you eat water, you 물을 먹어요, 우유를 먹어요. You can eat things that you drink in English. 아까 배고파서 빵이랑 음료수를 먹었어요. Yeah, it's consuming. You are having. Okay. Yeah, plutôt en français. 그 다음에 주다, to give. 주다, to give. 주다. 시간을 줘요. Give time. 돈을 줘요. Give money. 아이디어를 줘요. Give ideas. 도움을 줘요. Give some help. And now. 지금 is now. Now. I automatically said now. What's 지금? Well, it's now. And in English, when you are transitioning from one topic to another, you say, all right, now. You don't say 지금 in that case. You really don't say anything in that situation. But if you do want to say a transitional now, like earlier it was like that, and now, how about now? You say 이제. Or 지금은, or 이제는. Okay? 지금 is just specifically right now. And 배부르다 is the opposite of 배고프다. Because 배부르다 is to be full. And it's often used as an idiomatic expression. 배가 불렀구나. Something like that. 배가 불렀구나. This is in 반말, casual language. So this is useful when you want to say, like, for example, there's a good opportunity, a job that you think your friend should apply for, and then your friend is like, oh no, I'm good. I'll do it later. And then you're like, you really don't have motivation, or you are too spoiled. You're too happy. You're not hungry enough. So you're not. idiomatically speaking, you're not hungry enough. 배가 불렀구나. So you've been, you've eaten enough. So you talk about it when you are discussing opportunities or some conditions. So it's an idiomatic usage. 배가 아프다 is, to have a stomach ache or to be jealous as an idiom. 배가 아파요. 배 아프네. Like because somebody did something amazing and you are jealous. Okay. 졸다. To doze off. 졸고 있어요. Dozing. 졸다. Okay. So 졸다 is that. You can say 졸리다 is to feel sleepy. It's related to 졸다. It's in the passive form. So I'll just leave it like that. And scrolling back up to 배가 부르다. A pregnant woman's belly growing is also 배가 부르다. Yes, 배가 좀 불렀어요. Or 배가 불렀어요. 배가 많이 불렀어요. Something like that. It can be either described in the progressive form or in the past tense like that. You can describe it, but you have to be very specific about the context. And then can you use the hungry verb 배부르다 beside other nouns that aren't stomach? 배부르다? Or 배고프다, hungry. 배고프다? No, because 배 is already your stomach, so you cannot use it beside other nouns. Okay? All right. So we have a few more. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. And then 선생님 is, what is it? Teacher. Teacher. 선생님. Originally 선 before you, 생, born. Somebody who was born before you, therefore is probably wise. 선생님. And then 무섭다 is to be scary or to be scared. Okay? Scared. As you know, 지루하다 is to be boring or to be bored. So in Korean, these verbs can work either way. So again, it's a classic mistake that lots of Korean people learning English can make because of the characteristics of these verbs. It can work either way. The movie can be boring, so I can be bored. But in Korean, you don't separate it clearly, intrinsically. So people end up saying something like, oh, I'm so boring today, like as an English learner in Korea. So that's that. And then 어린이 is a child, 어린이. And this E part is someone. Yes, 심심하다 is only to be bored. Yeah, therefore you can just say 심심하다 if you want to be specific about to be bored, not to be boring. And 학교 is school. And 가족 is family. I hope me providing the translation in English right away isn't too fast for some of you. 가족 is family. 가족. 공원 is a park. Yeah, 공원. And 많다 is to be a lot. To be much. Right? 많다. 많아요. 많다, the pronunciation is 많다 in this form, but when you say like that, when you conjugate it in the present tense, it's 많아요. Yeah, 많아요. You don't pronounce the 히읗 there unless you have other consonants. For example, 많지 않아요. We have two words that have 니은 히읗. So 많지 않아요. So when 히읗 is added in the previous syllable as the last consonant, 받침, and the following one is a vowel, the first following letter is a vowel, it doesn't do anything. It kind of disappears. But if it's a consonant, it combines with other consonants to form the aspirated version. So like that. And then, yeah. And this is why when we teach Hangul in our courses, we teach 기역 and 기역 together. 디귿, 디귿 together because they are related. 디귿, 디귿 together. Okay? Okay? All right. And then next, 어른 is the opposite of 어린이. 어른 is an adult. Grown up. 어른. 어른. And then 아기 is a baby. Baby. This reminds you of a power-up in a video game? Yeah, that's a good point. And what is 지키다? 지키다 is to protect or to keep safe or intact or keep your promise, something like that. 지키다. And 적다 and 적다. Okay, two pronunciations. I'm sure it's 적다 here. So I did mention the notion of long and short vowels before, and 적다 is to be little, to be few in amount or number. 적다 is to write down. So 적어요 and 적어요. For example, 양이 적어요. 이름을 적어요. Listen to this. 양 is amount. Okay, amount. When you want to say the amount is low, you need to say 양이 적어요 with a slightly longer sound like 적어요. This kind of distinction used to be, even 30 years ago, super clear, and it was taught in schools, in classes, every day. It was like common sense. 30 years later, or even 15 years later, it started being taught less and less in classes, and now people in their 20s don't know much about this, or I mean, they're still pronouncing it like this, but they don't pay attention to it. They don't know. They wouldn't be able to explain it. So you'll see what I mean if you listen to native speakers saying it. It's things that they're doing without knowing that they're doing it. 양이, if you say 적어요, it doesn't sound correct. 양이 적어요. Slightly longer. The amount is low. 이름을 적어요. You write down your name. 이름을 적어요. 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 You see. Okay? 적다. 적다. And then 신기하다 is to be interesting. To be fascinating. 신기하다 is a very 신기한 word. It describes so many different things. And then 어떻게 is how, in what way, 어떻게. Okay? Yeah, it can be refreshing as well. So many definitions or translations. And winter is what we are in the middle of in Korea, at least, and in many parts of the world. Winter, 겨울 is winter. And 할머니, 할아버지, grandmother, grandfather. And if you look here, and if you already know 어머니, 아버지, you might be wondering, okay, so is it possibly a combination of 할 and 어머니? Yes, 할 plus 어머니 or 할 plus 아버지. So long story short, 할 and 한, this prefix are related, like 한. So 한, 할, basically these mean big, somebody, yeah, bigger. So your father, bigger, older father. So it's a specific, I guess, strand of the word meaning, and it has been attached to your father. So it's very similar to grand, okay? So very, very interesting. And then 가다 is to go, 가다. And bus in Korean is 버스. If you remember, maybe 3 live classes ago, I introduced this shortened form, 버스 정류장, like bus stop, and people shorten it all the time, and the pronunciation is actually 버정, not 버정, because it's pronounced as 버스 here in Korean. And then 지하철 is the subway, exactly like in English. Sub, under, 지. So 지 is ground, under, steel or rail. Okay, so subway. So subway, 지하철. And then 타다 is to ride. 지하철을 타요. 버스를 타요. 지하철을 타고 가요. You go by subway. You ride it and go. And then 고양이, cat. 고양이. 야옹이 is also a cat. It's a cute name for 고양이, 야옹이. Kids often say 야옹이 because 고양이's sound, meow, in Korean is yaong. I think everybody believes that the sounds in their mother tongue are more accurate representations of anything. Animal sounds, any sounds in the nature. I think, however, yaong is definitely more accurate than meow because cats don't have the ability to make or produce the M sound. Can they? Can cats pronounce the M sound? I think it's only a vowel. Yeah, it's because cats can only pronounce vowels. Meow. I don't think they can. Your cat does. Okay. So I think everybody believes because that's what they grow up hearing. All right. Your cats have always spoken Korean. You just never knew. Also, in the same logic, I think the Korean 멍멍 is also incorrect. Okay, that's an exception. Like for dogs barking, 강아지, okay, we write dogs barking as 멍멍, but also dogs cannot produce the m sound accurately. So 멍멍 is just too cute to be actually accurate, in my opinion. Okay, 동물 is an animal. 동물. The opposite or related is 식물, plant. So like animal, if you look at this one, ani, it's animated, it's moving. So 동 is actually the part that represents that. 동, it means moving. 물 is thing, moving things. 식 is planted things. Planted things that are not moving are plants. Moving things on earth are animals. And 놀다 is to play, to hang out, to not work. 놀다, okay, 놀다. And to fight, to have a quarrel. Quarrel or to argue. 싸우다. 싸우다 is not only a fist fight. Okay? Argue. You can have two people arguing. 두 사람이 싸우고 있어요. Having a fight. So I guess it's similar. When you say a couple is having a fight, are they having a boxing match type fight, or are they just arguing? You don't know yet, right? But in Korean, it's even more vague. 싸우고 있어요? Like, what kind of 싸움? And 지다 is to lose. If you have a fight, one person will lose. 지다. 지다, 져요. Yeah, 졌어요. 질 거예요. Conjugations. And then 방 is a room. Room. I recently went to a 노래방, singing room, with my son. It was a 코인 노래방, 코인 singing room, basically unmanned. You just go in, you just pay. So the thing is, 코인 노래방s are just 무인 노래방 these days. 무인, unmanned, like unmanned. Because nobody who I don't even remember when was the last time I used coins outside of Korea. So coin, I don't even have any coins. So but they still call it 코인 노래방 because it used to be like that. You put in a 501 coin in the machine and you have one song that come up, you sing it, you choose it and sing it. And these days people still call it 코인 노래방 or 코노 for short. And yeah, we recently went. It was his first time. And 닫다 is to close. Yeah. And then music. 음악. 듣다 is to listen to something or to hear. 듣다. 듣고 있어요. I'm listening. 듣다, one variant from 듣다 is 들리다. 듣다 is also irregular with the 디귿 there. 들리다 is to be heard. Can hear. So 들려요. I can hear you. So very often I ask you 들리세요? Can you hear me? When I start our live class, right? 잘 들리세요? Can you hear me well? So lots of cool variants from 듣다. Okay. And then 있다, 없다. 있다 and 없다 are opposites. You have something, you don't have something, there is something, there isn't something. Okay? To exist, to not exist. 있다, 없다. And then 이름 is name. 이름. 이름이 어떻게 되세요? You know the song 이름이 뭐예요 by 현아. It was popular like 10 years ago or so. As a Korean instructor, I didn't like that title because it's way too casual and I was afraid that many people might just start using it. 이름이 뭐예요? To random strangers, or not random strangers, but whenever they wanted to ask somebody's name. And 이름이 뭐예요 is too casual. Like, you don't want to say 이름이 뭐예요 to someone unless that's the only phrase you know. It's fine. Your pronunciation level, your intonation level, your fluency level will show to the other person, oh, this person is a learner, so it's fine. But if your pronunciation is good, your intonation is fluent, you want to say 이름이 어떻게 되세요? 이름이 어떻게 되세요? Something like that. Because 어떻게 is way better than 뭐. And then 시간 is time. Time. Easier, I think. 울다 is to cry. 울다. 울지 마세요. Don't cry. 울지 마세요. 울다. 선생님이면 이름이 뭐예요? 괜찮아요. If you're talking down, like while speaking 존댓말, which is possible, of course, you can. And 수영 is swimming. I think it's funny that it sounds quite similar. Swimming, 수영, swimming, 수영. And then, yeah, 수영. If you learn the names for various swimming techniques, the strokes, you'll find it funny or interesting that all the names end with 영. 자유영, 평영, 배영, this 영, freestyle, 평영, butterfly, yeah, I think. So I don't know the technical details of swimming styles, but these are all technique names. 영, okay? And then 수건 is a towel. Like 세수, washing your face, this one is also related to your hand because 수 means your hand, like in 악수, handshake. 건 is dry. So it's a piece of cloth used for drying your hands, a towel, 수건. Okay, and then 가게 is a store, 가게, store. So you can have lots of different types of 가게. What is, yeah, let's say 양말 가게, sock store. 양말 가게. And this is a good example because when there's a consonant before 가게, this 가 changes to 가게. 양말, you don't say 양말 가게, you say 양말 가게, 양말 가게. Okay? 장난감 가게, 장난감 가게, 장난감 가게, 장난감 가게. This one, I think it depends on the person. Toy store. Some people will say 장난감 가게, 장난감 가게 with a pause. Some people will say without a pause, 장난감 가게, like that. Is Costco or big supermarkets a 가게? No. 가게 is smaller. It's used usually, yeah, one floor. You can pretty much see everything in one glance. And yeah, Costco is just a shopping mall. 마트 or shopping mall. Is it different from 시장? 시장 is a marketplace. So when you say 시장, it's either the stock market, 주식시장, or a traditional marketplace that you go to. It can be big, but it can be usually a traditional one, 시장. Yeah, 가게 is a store. Kiosk is 키오스크. Okay, we have about 25. 돈 is money. 100 is quite a lot. You will go through a lot of words today after finishing this. You will have gone through a lot. So 돈 is money. 빌리다 is to borrow. 빌려주다 is to lend. So these two are related. 빌리다, 빌려주다, like you give the other person the act of borrowing. Okay. 비누 is a soap. And 차갑다 is to be cold. Yeah, to the touch, usually. 차갑다. 춥다 is to feel cold. So it can be 차가운 as an adjective. So 차가운 시선, a cold gaze. 차가운 시선을 보냈다. You send 차가운 시선. 시선을 보냈다. They gave you a cold gaze. 차가운 시선으로, in a cold gaze. And then 어깨 is shoulder. 어깨 is shoulder. Okay. And then 힘 is power, strength, energy. 힘. 힘. Let me show you the words in advance. Can you also use 춥다 to describe someone's personality? No, you have to use 차갑다 actually. That's a good question. When you are describing someone's cold personality, it's 차가운 성격, 차가운 사람, a cold-hearted or cold shoulder kind of person. 차가운 사람. 추운 사람 is always somebody who's just cold, like in terms of body temperature. And then to teach is 가르치다. 가르치다 is to teach. 한국어를 가르쳐 주세요. Teach me Korean. 내일 is tomorrow. 네 is actually originally 래. And it has been turned into 네 for ease of pronunciation. The real, when it comes at the very beginning of the word, it often turns into nian. And if you look at really, really old Korean texts from, say, 80 years ago, or even 60 years ago, you will see lots of real words that start with real. So 내일 is come day, the day that's coming. And 친하다 is to be close to a person, to know someone really well. 친하다. 친한 언니, 친한 동생, 친한 형, 친한 지인. These are very commonly used words. 언니 is your older sister, but in this case, you're not talking about your own older sister. You're talking about an older friend who is also a female that you're close to. 친한 언니, 친한 언니. And then 동생 is a younger person that's not your own sibling. And yeah, you are 친해. 친한 형, somebody who is an older person that's also a man. Yeah, etc. Yeah, 친한 지인. 지인 is someone that you know. 친한 지인. If it's too fast for your level, please feel free to review by watching the recording. And yeah. So I want to finish everything. I do want to finish everything, but let me just actually focus on some words. I'll give you for the rest of the words, I'll give you the translation really quickly right now. 선물 is present and gift, and then I'll come back to offer some information about some of the words. 좋다 is to be good, to like. 귀걸이 is your earring. 목걸이 is your necklace. I have something really funny about something to say about 목걸이. Please wait a little bit. Today is 오늘 is today. 오늘 today. 생일 birthday. 교 is teaching. 실 is a room. Teaching room, classroom. 먹다 is to eat. 친구 is a friend. Okay. 노래 is a song. So 노래를 부르다 is to sing a song. 노래를 부르다 or 노래하다 can work. And 춤 is a dance. 춤을 추다 is to dance. To dance a dance. With 노래하다 or 부르다, you can use the verb on its own without the corresponding noun. But 추다, you need to use 춤. You need to almost always say to dance a dance in Korean. And then 축하하다, to congratulate. Everybody's doing a fantastic job writing the translations. And then 재미있다, to be fun, entertaining, interesting. Okay, and then 하루 is a day, the duration of a day. So 하루, one day. And then 바다 is the sea, the ocean. 바다. 가다. 걷다 is to walk, right? To walk. 걷다. And the conjugation is like this. 걸어요, 걸었어요, 걸을 거예요. Typical 디귿 irregular. And 식당 is a restaurant. 식당, restaurant. 맛있다 is to be delicious, to be tasty. 음식 is food, something you eat. 별 is a star. Yes, star. And to 보다 is to see, to look, to even watch something. 유튜브 봐요. You're watching YouTube. 행복하다 is to be happy, to be excited. Yeah, happy in general. 여름 is summer. And to be hot. Yeah, 여름 is something that everybody in Korea now is waiting for. 여름을 다 기다리고 있죠. Okay, so thank you for following along really well and providing all the definitions of these words. You did great. And then here, let me we have one word which is outside of the screen. 밖에 있었어요. Outside was outside. Perfect. How was 밖에 있었지? 이상하네. Anyway, look at this. You have an earring and a necklace. And 고리, 거리 are similar, right? You might wonder, can you say 귀걸이? So that's the last bit of information that I will introduce today before our live class is wrapped up. So think about it for a second with me. Why is it, so 목 is your neck, 걸다 is to hang on something, okay? To hook on something. 걸다. 옷을 걸어요. So clothes hanger is a 옷걸이. 걸다. Okay. So the answer is 목에, you put your necklace around your neck, so that's 목걸이. And 귀걸이 is 고리 because 고리 means a ring. Okay, so and if you look at it, if you think about it, if you look at it, I'm not wearing earrings, but if you think about it, earrings are rings, so that's why they're called 고리. And technically speaking, 목걸이 is correct, 귀걸이 is correct, and 귀걸이 is also potentially correct too. But it's a different kind of thing. 귀걸이 also exists, but 귀걸이 is something that's, for example, your masks, you know, the thing that we all wore during the pandemic. The mask is usually kind of hung around or over your ears, so 귀걸이. And if you wear glasses that have, what do you call it, the chain that attaches over, like goes over your ears, 귀걸이. 안경. So anything that goes over your ear as an option, that's also 귀걸이. So the takeaway is 목걸이 is a necklace. 귀걸이, because it's a ring, it's 귀걸이 if you're talking about the accessory earring. But anything that's, glasses or masks or anything in terms of accessories that goes over your ear, it's possible, 귀걸이. And one last bit, in more luxury brands, if you go on Bulgari or Chanel or any other website, they don't call it 목걸이. They call it necklace. I find it so funny that they call necklaces necklace in Korean. Maybe they want to distinguish other mere 목걸이s from their super luxurious necklaces. Maybe they want to separate the image. Oh, it's not a 목걸이, it's a necklace. It's not a 귀걸이. It's a 이어링입니다. I don't know why, but to me, this is just wrong. It's Konglish, and it also sounds like necklace. To me, the first time I read it, I mean, I saw the images like by chance, and I was like, okay, they are talking about necklaces. Why? But why does it say necklace? So yeah, just something that you can remember for fun. 안녕하세요. 지금 출근해야 하는데 그냥 인사하러 왔어요. Ah, yeah. Claire Willison. That's a good point. 4 syllables instead of 3 makes it more expensive. 목걸이, necklace. 팔찌 too. Bracelets. bracelet. People started saying bracelet for 팔찌 as well. Thank you. And yeah, this was today's 100 must-know Korean words list. And Jennifer, for the newsletter, it was an interesting read, seeing how culture changes over time. Would you please consider writing in Korean as well for additional reading practice? I can absolutely do that. Skirt is also, yeah, 치마 versus 스커트. Yeah, I think brands, clothing brands particularly, want to use more and more Konglish or English words instead of the native or Sino-Korean Korean words to give off a more luxurious feel, but sometimes it's overdone. And like I showed you earlier, please click on the links in the description to see all of these really cool things going on with the Talk to Me in Korean products. This is our latest addition to our Stories app. This is the app that you can go to learn Korean vocabulary very naturally through engaging stories, and you will actually study every day. And this new feature will make sure that you study every day, because you have to, the way you get this badge, this shiny badge in your app, is you have to read for more than 20 days in a month. And I didn't read in any month over the past 2 years more than 20 days in a month, so I don't have anything. But if you've read very diligently and consistently, you will have every single month actually activated. And we have today's gift here. So go to our website every single day to open a new gift every single day. And that's it for today's live class. 그러면 여러분, so you know what to do next, right? Go to the links in the description and go to our YouTube page to check out our latest videos. Last Friday, I believe, we posted another very fun video analyzing the Korean lines by Jim Carrey in the movie Yes Man. It was a fun video to make, and I think you will learn a lot from that as well. 그러면, and also thank you for the feedback and suggestion. I will write also in Korean in my newsletter at the bottom, maybe as an option. Thank you. That's it. 그럼 다음 시간에 만나요. See you in 1 week on YouTube in the next live class. 안녕히 계세요. Bye bye.